crisis with Syria really heating up. Just moments ago, the government there promising to use all available means to defend itself from a U.S. strike. Preparations for that strike are ramping up right now.
This, of course, just comes hours after U.S. officials called the use of chemical weapons by the Syrian government last week, quote, uncowardly, undeniable, and a moral obscenity. This from Secretary of State John Kerry.
That's right. This morning, Syria saying that is a lie. Let's get right to the region, where ABC's Martha Raddatz is tracking all this on the ground in Amman, Jordan. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, George and Elizabeth. This region is bracing for a possible military attack on Syria, which could come soon. This morning, potential targets have been identified, allies consulted, and military commanders await only the green light to launch attacks. These images seen round the world have had a profound effect in Washington. Secretary of State John Kerry saying in no uncertain terms that what the Assad regime has done will not go unpunished.
Make no mistake, President Obama believes there must be accountability for those who would use the world's most heinous weapons against the world's most vulnerable people.
For Kerry, the attack seemed personal.
As a father, I can't get the image out of my head of a man who held up his dead child, wailing while chaos swirled around him.
While the administration is convinced a chemical attack occurred, the UN is proceeding with its investigation. Those inspectors who came under sniper fire, donning bulletproof vests to interview survivors. While UN authorization would be ideal, it is doubtful that will come.
If the United States stands by and doesn't take very serious action, not just launching some cruise missiles, then again our credibility in the world is diminished even more, if there's any left.
So, Martha, as you said, this military strike could come soon. A tricky calculation by the Obama administration. They want to strike hard enough to punish the Assad regime, but they don't want to get pulled into a prolonged war.
They do not, George. So this will be a limited strike, a limited objective to prevent Syria from launching any further chemical attacks. You will probably see cruise missiles from the Mediterranean Sea, destroyers in the Mediterranean Sea, possibly long-range bombers. It will probably just last about 2 to 3 days. Of course, the White House keeps saying the president has not yet made a decision. There would be no direct hit, I cannot imagine, on chemical weapons, because that would be very dangerous. Those weapons could disperse. But a very limited objective here, George and Elizabeth. They do not want to get involved in Syria's civil war.
And Martha, we've seen consultations begin with Congress, begin with our allies. The United Kingdom has drawn up contingency plans for a military strike as well. But the next big action we expect to see from the U.S. government, an intelligence report clearly pinning all of this on the Syrian government.
They will present an intelligence report, but you can't get much stronger than what John Kerry said yesterday. They say there is undeniable evidence.